We don't need any more room noise. We can start talking.
Amateur hour over here. Maybe I should start a podcast with actual professionals.
Do you know any?
Shit.
I'll take Chris.
It wouldn't be as fun.
And that's implying that I'm a professional.
No, it's just a silent room. There's no one in here. None of us are professionals.
Great.
Welcome, everybody, to In the Buff.
We got
Us.
and that's
4.
it. Kyle's not here.
No Kyle today.
Okay.
Kyle's not here.
We kicked him.
Unfortunately, he had a tragic accident while watching some scary videos.
I haven't seen you guys in so long. Because we didn't do a podcast.
Oh.
Last week we skipped a week.
John tries to riff, and all of us immediately are like, no.
but. So, are we doing the comments?
What are we thinking, guys?
Let's flip a coin.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You didn't call
You
it.
didn't call it.
Call it.
I almost made a No Country for Old Men
That's
reference,
what I kind of did.
but I caught myself. I've been getting better about that. I made the comment about how I was getting very insecure about all the references I make.
Since you said that, shut up, Chris. Since you said that, I have made a test for myself at work. I will constantly reference things now, and I'm going out of my way to make references.
As many as possible.
As many as possible.
So you
and,
see
like,
me younger?
Everybody laughs if they understand what the reference was about.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be fucking funny.
What was some of the best zingers?
I got a concussion this weekend. I don't remember.
Oh, I thought that was a reference to something.
No, yeah. Ugh, another
can
one?
Smell you.
Oh, dude. You don't know about this. I told both of these guys.
Yeah.
This is not his corner.
This is not my corner.
But it does sound like something you should share.
Bro, alright, hold on. Time out.
Where's he going?
So there was a wedding this weekend, right?
We gotta fill time while he walks
we could
away.
just wait.
What are some comments?
We could just wait.
Okay.
We could just wait while he's walking.
What did you get?
Back.
The evidence.
Oh, okay.
So there was a wedding this last weekend. And during the wedding, it was my niece getting married.
Awesome.
Yep, nailed it. My niece was getting married.
Which one?
Lexi.
He doesn't even remember. He doesn't remember the joke I was doing earlier.
They wanted to have a more unconventional wedding. So they got their cousin to get a marriage certificate thing online.
Yeah. So that he could, like, officiate it?
Yeah.
I've done that.
I told them that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I was
don't
like,
know.
I have a friend.
You share my business with people.
Sorry, I didn't say your name. I just
Okay.
said I had a friend.
Okay, well, they can
Strong
still...
words.
I didn't know it was like...
They
You
probably
only
still-
have 3 friends, John.
They could have probably still paid you like $100 to do it.
1, 2, 3. God, I hope they make the short list.
The voices in your head don't count.
We're getting you
Anyways.
sidetracked.
Anyways, so during this wedding, my nephew was the ring bearer. He's 17,
Yeah.
and he wore a security vest, and he had a lockbox for the rings,
Hmm.
and his walk-up music was like the Mission Impossible music. It was cool. He did like a couple rolls, and then
I'll have to
behind
take your word
him,
for it.
it was a little bit funny. Behind him was instead of a flower girl, there was a beer boy.
Okay.
And the beer boy had a front pocket full of Miller Lights and orange Jello shots of Everclear. And he starts walking up, and he gets to the edge of the seats, and he's like, hey, who wants some beer? Who wants some Jello shots? And he takes a couple Jello shots, and he fucking sprinkles around to people around him. And then he grabs one of the beers, and you see somebody like 4 rows back throw their hand up. And he's like, looked like Tom Brady. Like, he took a step back. He launched that sucker like 30 feet, landed in that person's hand. I've never seen this kid more confident.
Yeah.
I say kid because he's like 22.
Irresponsible.
But now he knows, like, when he threw that, I'm like, that's a little bit far. Somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Like, these are full-ass beer cans.
Yeah.
And then the guy in the row right behind me throws his hand up. And this beer boy locks eyes with him.
Oh, no.
And I'm like...
I think I see where this is
I'm
going.
like, oh, jeez. Okay. All right. So he locks eyes. You see him take the step back, whip that bad boy out of his fucking front pocket, and like a baseball player, left leg comes up, and he just leans forward and throws a strike. And this guy's fucking illiterate. He doesn't know how to do anything.
What does that have to do with catching a ball?
He can't.
Oh, gotcha.
So I throw my hand up like I'm gonna do like an Odell Beckham Jr. catch,
I know that person, sure.
Yeah.
and it dings off this guy's forearm right into the side of my head at like fucking legitimately probably like if it went off his arm, it couldn't have been going more than like 15, 20 miles an hour. Like it wasn't fast, but it was a full beer can, and there was no angle to this. It was a lateral throw.
Yeah.
This thing was on a fucking linear plane.
Did you die?
No, but I got the beer can.
Oh.
And here's the dent it did to
Oh my
the
god.
skull.
That really dented it.
And like, I got it signed by the two people got married,
Yeah.
and I'm never going to open this thing.
John, way to ruin the fucking mood of the wedding.
No, that's the thing actually. I think
Plenty of people got hit in the head.
I think
It's kind of a theme.
the whole crowd did the ooh, and I just like kind of like played it off of like
That's like an Adam Sandler movie.
don't-
bit.
Don't
It is.
cry.
Yeah.
Don't cry. Don't cry. This is her day. This is her day. Don't cry. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. And like, if anybody else got fucking smacked in the head with a beer can, probably would have been like, I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Me? I'm like, this happens on like
What is this,
every
number 4 or 5?
Tuesday. Teen.
He doesn't know how to count anymore.
So probably like an hour later, I'm like, I'm definitely feeling fuzzy.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. You should have left a comment about this, because then we would have actually talked about it.
It
No, now you
seems
just-
like we talked about it quite a fair bit,
no,
though.
now you just kind of derailed everything. Now nothing feels right. I have like a sour taste in my mouth.
That could have been the cake.
I didn't have any cake.
Oh, uh-oh.
My body's a temple. No comments?
Let's not do comments.
No
Let's
comments.
see what happens,
Let's see
guys.
what hap-
We're just experimenting here.
Last time I experimented, my ass hurt for a long time. I know what you're thinking. So, whose
Did you
corner
know
is it?
That you can
Oh wait, no. Fuck you.
fit 2 raccoons in your asshole
How?
if you slowly and properly stretch it out. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
They're scared.
Okay.
You're very,
Let me show you
very
a
wrong.
picture.
This is me last Tuesday. All right. They're barely in there, John. So anyway, it's my corner of not anyone's corner yet. It's John's corner. But before, have you guys heard of? I made these guys watch some spooky videos. Have you watched the spooky videos yet, Cody?
I haven't yet.
He hasn't. Have you watched the rest
I
of them?
watched half of them.
By half, you mean like you watch, because one of them is a series of 4 videos.
Yeah, I count that as one.
Okay,
Yeah, you should.
sure.
Anyway, I made them watch that, and they're gonna.
Honestly, they're not that bad.
I've been watching a lot of internet horror, and something that actually kind of upsets me. Not about the quality of it or anything. I'm sure people listening have heard about this. You guys know Kane Pixels?
Nope.
Yes, I've heard of them.
Who?
He makes the backroom stuff. He
Yep.
also made a new series
Mm.
recently called The Oldest View,
Okay.
and it's like The Oldest View it's basically pretty much a movie. He made a movie in the form of 3 videos. With that one in particular, I feel like there's something wrong with me because I'll watch them, and with Backrooms in particular, people went pretty crazy about the Backrooms series he made. But I watched it and I was just like, okay, it's fun. I guess it's kind of spooky. There's like a monster, and I feel like I'm just not. Something is getting lost in translation with me watching this. Sure, the idea of being trapped in this impossible architecture is spooky, I guess. That is spooky, but so's like something that's actually spooky. I don't know. It's getting lost on me. And the more I think about it, I watched his newest series called The Oldest House. Or Oldest View, sorry. And in that, a guy is hiking. It's a guy with a YouTube channel. The character is, I can't remember his name. But the character is a guy with a YouTube channel, and he's hiking, and he finds this hole in the ground that leads to, it's like beneath this tree, and there's stairs leading down with like electric lights on the thing. He's like, well, that's weird. And he goes down a bit, and the first YouTube video, quote unquote, that he posts is the first one we see. And he's like, well, I was on a hike the other day, guys, and I found this, and I went a little bit deeper, and I'm like, well, shit, this is real deep. I want to find out what this is. And technically I'm trespassing, but we're just going to find out what it is. So he goes real deep down in this video, and he's like, he like goes around, looks around a corner, and it just continues to go down. It's very House of Leaves. And he's like, that's pretty deep. And so he turns around, and some time passes. The next video is him like getting ready to reach the bottom of these stairs. So he reaches the bottom of these stairs, and there's a creepy Silent Hill ass looking door, and he opens it, and there's just a shopping mall with no one in it, and like the lights are off, and it's
Does
just
it look like pristine, or is it
yeah,
like...
it's just a shopping mall. It looks like an abandoned shopping mall that isn't like destroyed or anything. And he's just like, okay, and he turns around. And the last video is 48 minutes long, and it's him going all the way down and being like, all right, I'm exploring the shopping mall. And this is a huge spoiler, but he can't really spoil it. The point of it is to watch and experience what he's experiencing. He's going through the shopping mall, and then he finds this. The last video is called the something giant, the rolling giant. And he's exploring the shopping mall, and he just sees this weird art fixture that's like on wheels, and it's this like guy with plant hands and this weird like uncanny face, and he's real tall and big, and he's like, that's weird. And obviously the whole thing with Kane Pixels, for you who didn't know what the fuck I'm talking about, he uses Blender to make photorealistic environments.
Okay.
Someone who is like a boomer watching the back, or even this, the Backrooms thing, or this, would just be like, how in the fuck did they make this shopping mall under the ground?
Yeah.
It just looks that good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's well made, crazy well made. But people go crazy about this shit, and I'm just watching it, I'm like, this isn't scary at all. Something is getting lost on me. And I was just thinking about that a lot, and how I just feel like I'm missing out on something. I feel like there's something wrong with me, because I don't get to be spooked by this rolling giant. And it's a real popular video, but I watched it and I was like, he's kind of scary, I guess.
Are you familiar with the concept of liminal spaces?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he capitalizes on.
Yeah, clearly. The Backrooms is classic. That abandoned shopping mall is very much so that. I guess, maybe it just doesn't tickle you.
It doesn't. Like, people talk about it's like a
liminal space.
A liminal space is like liminal means like it's in between. It's a space of transition almost, where it's people talk about seeing it. I've never experienced this, but they talk about seeing a picture of liminal space and being like, something about it feels creepy and nostalgic almost, where it's like familiar to you, but you don't really know why.
Like, there's nothing inherently creepy about a shopping mall with nobody in it. But just, like, the uncanniness of it, the fact that
there's supposed to be people here.
There's supposed to be people here, and there's not. And it's just this big empty space that's designed to not be empty. That's one example.
See, I figured that it came from because like when I view those videos in those spaces, right, they fill me with like anxiety and like edging me on to like panic attack.
But like, from what do you think?
I don't know. I think it's that I'm expecting something there, but it isn't, which is making me expect more things, and then that just escalates and snowballs.
I know the one time I think I've legitimately experienced a space like that was in high school. I went to the Green with some of my football buddies, and there was just nobody on the sidewalks at like 9 o'clock at night. And we were on our way to the movies, and like it took us like 3 or 4 minutes to walk the blocks to get over there. And there was we didn't pass a single soul. A whole bunch of the stores were already closed down. And like it felt like, for me, for whatever reason, it felt like it was like, hey, this is the beginning of like a zombie apocalypse or something. Like it's like it felt that barren.
For me, it's like I've been to a lot of open houses, and there's
Why?
Looking to buy free food.
No.
Good guess.
No, but like there's a big difference between a house with some furniture in it and a house with no furniture.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I
It's-
just feel nothing.
I don't know. It's weird to me.
Here's a really good example that I just pulled up. We'll put it in the video. But it's just this picture of this courtyard. It doesn't even really look real, actually. There's something wrong with the framing and the color and the symmetry.
But it looks...
Two of those double doors are not real. One of those double doors are not real.
See, that's the thing, is both of them are. It's just a normal courtyard.
One's a mimic and you're walking right into his stomach.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing, is it like you look at a picture and it's just a boring, mundane picture and you're like, something's wrong. Like, I don't like this. It doesn't pass the vibe check, as the Gen Z would say.
And you you feel that?
Yeah, I look at that picture and I'm like, something's wrong here.
I don't know.
It did look like a lot like the elementary school courtyard, though.
Mm-hmm.
From where I grew up, one of them at least.
People talk about feeling that way just normally playing games like Zelda, the N64 ones. There are just certain areas that are just odd.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to. Another series that I kind of feel the same way about, that people just really get into, is the Mandela Catalog. Ever heard of them?
I have. Wendigoon made a video about it that I did not watch.
People love the Mandela Catalog. It gets millions of views. And I'll concede this much. The premise, it's very well made, again, and very well thought out and written. The premise is pretty fucking cool. The initial premise, as far as I understand it, is that the devil won.
Mm-hmm.
And the greatest trick the devil ever pulled, like good old Kaiser Sose told us, was convincing the world he didn't exist. He pretended to be Jesus while the real Jesus was enslaved in hell. And so we're living in a world where like demons just get to run rampant, but they're also real tricky, and they do this like thing where there are alternates, and they'll take a person or convince that person to get rid of themselves permanently, and then take over their lives. But sometimes they overcook it, and you just see a person whose face is just way fucking wrong. And that's a lot of the horror and a lot of the jumpy scares in the Mandela Catalog videos are just like a person whose face looks wacky. But like, I don't know. I feel fucking nothing about it, because like there's this one face of the angel Gabriel, and he looks like extended and twisted and goofy, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. It looks silly. Maybe if you saw it, you'd freak the fuck out. I don't know.
Well, what's some internet horror that you've seen recently that you did enjoy?
All those videos that I showed you guys when I want you to watch. Vita Carnis is really cool. Oh,
I thought that was just like interesting.
Yeah. It's just good.
Like the universe that it's building it made me curious.
Greylock is a good one. There are some fucked up images in Greylock.
Is Greylock the long one?
I don't know.
Because we only watched the first four.
Greylock.
What are you talking about?
Greylock's not in
Yeah,
it's not. Oh, I thought it was part of it. Okay.
Greylock is just another series that's fucked up and spooky. The whole thing with Greylock is these people like find some sort of tulpas. Tulpas are the thing with Greylock. People make tulpas. Who cares? I don't know why I'm talking about this. Point is, I don't know. It makes me feel like I'm missing out on something. But that being said, I don't know. This is part where my head was going. When I was considering the idea of the spooky liminal space, it made me really feel like I was just losing something in regard to House of Leaves. Like there's a whole other level that I'm just not experiencing, and I'm only interested in the part that I'm interested in, and I can't help it. And that got me paranoid, be like, wait, am I missing like a whole structure of message that I don't know. It just got me thinking down this rabbit hole that like how much is lost on me without even realizing that it was lost on me. If it weren't for people telling me that this liminal space stuff was supposed to be creepy, then I would have just been like, why do people like cane pixels? Like, for real, in that 48-minute long video that I watched the whole thing, again, super well made, Cane Pixels, I'm sure you're a great dude, it was just boring. I was not spooked. I was watching this guy walk around an abandoned shopping mall until the monster showed up, And then the monster showed up, and I'm like, this isn't scary.
Do you ever like try to put yourself in their position, or like?
Of course.
Because that's what usually starts to get me to start to overthink it.
Yeah.
Like once I like with Backrooms, I thought Backrooms was creepy, and it started out with just like scientists doing tests or whatever, like his videos, and then it went to like full 10, 20 minutes of people exploring it, and like as that would happen, I would start to put myself in that position, and that's what would start freaking me out. That's what made me start turning down the volume and pausing the video when I think something scary is about to happen.
Like I was curious. I was talking to Kyle about this in regard to the videos I made you guys watch. Who is gonna pause? Who's gonna be the guy that pauses and be like, okay, hold on, all right, okay, I just need to take a breather.
I paused one time.
You did?
I paused one time, and I don't want to spoil it for these guys, but I paused it to say "fuck you" into the camera directed towards you.
Kyle did not pause it. He's stronger than you.
Honestly, it wasn't even really that scary. Like, it wasn't a scary moment that got me.
And here's what I'll say. Just be natural. You two, who haven't watched all the videos yet, just be natural. Don't perform. If you really are feeling it and you just like, okay, I need a breather, go for it. It'll be a moment for him to make fun of you in the edit.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I have a big fear of the dark.
Of course.
Right.
You have a big fear of everything, my guy.
Thanks. And I think that plays into why I feel this way about liminal spaces.
Yeah.
And the back rooms is because if there's nothing there, then my mind can fill it with anything, and it's going to do that.
There could just be something around the corner.
Exactly.
I can imagine that somewhat with that really famous image of the Office Space.
Yeah.
Where there's like 3 doorways or something, and you just kind of see between. I don't really remember what, but something could just be behind that wall. I could see that.
But like when I was, because the apartment tours that I went on, right back in the January, February, they had no furniture in them, right? And this is what was making me think about that, because there I was feeling uncomfortable because it's me, this lady I don't know, and this empty apartment building. Or this empty apartment. And so I'm just like, oh, I'm going to open up a closet. And then I'm going to turn around and she's just going to be gone. And then I'm going to turn back around and there'll be stuff in the closet. And then
it's not mine. And then the police show up.
Yeah. And I'm just like mind racing about this weird scenario that I'm finding myself in.
Well, you know, that was the corner of my corner of no one's corner that I wanted to go on. Is just, I feel bad. I feel bad. Not only for those creators, but for myself. Because I just feel like I'm missing out on something. And like I said, that puts me down this rabbit hole in my head of what else am I missing out on that I didn't even realize I was missing out on. Anyway, it's your corner.
Empty office spaces is another one of those uncanny things that fits that, like, this is supposed to be populated with people.
Yeah.
But it's 9 o'clock at night and everybody already went home.
Especially if all the lights are still on.
Yeah. The upstairs area of my building absolutely
wonder?
fits that.
Why is what?
You'd think it'd be spookier with the lights
off. Yeah, I know.
Right.
Parking lots, too. Man, I guess, actually, now that I think about it, my whole building fits that vibe.
Yeah.
Because there was one time on Thanksgiving. There was one time on Thanksgiving Eve in the first year that I started working there. And I'd just been promoted to a planning position. But I was working in the office that nobody was at, and I was supposed to be told when they were sending everybody home, but then they didn't tell everybody, or they didn't tell me at least. So when I walked over to the outbound side of the office, which was like a 5-minute walk, probably like half a mile, and I dropped off all my paperwork for the night, it was just a completely dark, small office, dead silent. There wasn't a fucking noise. The only thing I could hear was my own boots echoing through the warehouse. So, like, I just quickly dropped off my stuff, grabbed my backpack, grabbed my laptop, and I left. And as I'm walking up front, I just hear, it sounded like a bolt just, like, pop. And I just heard it like a wave just echo through the entire warehouse. And I look back, and everything's, like, motion sensor and on timing, timers. There we go.
You did great.
And I look back and just all I could see was the cell that I was in. And so the 3 cells behind that were just slowly darker than the other one.
Mhm.
until I couldn't see anything back there. So like the popping noise just came from pitch black, echoed past me into more darkness in front of me. And it was just like lights would turn on as I would walk underneath them, and then they'd shut off behind me as like enough time went past.
Chris isn't all right.
I know. It freaked me the fuck out, dude.
Well, there's that. That's really weird and creepy. I don't like that.
And then there was a security guard at the front, and that was the only person I saw. And I'm like,
And he raped you?
I'm like, you're gonna die, man. You're not gonna make it through the night.
So you unlocked a memory for me.
You're welcome.
Ooh.
So it's kindergarten, right?
No, it's
And oh shit, I'm 29.
not. Holy shit.
Oh, thanks. You brought me back, man.
So I remember this time in kindergarten, right? I had to go use the bathroom, and I come back, and everyone was gone. The whole class was gone, and the teacher, everyone. And I was just like, well, what happened? Did everyone leave me? And I just was very sad about that. So I'm just in the room alone crying. And then the librarian comes by and like finds me and then takes me to where they went.
Chris, this was last week. I was there.
I'm confused. Wait, you're in kindergarten too?
No, he was just getting confused.
Oh,
We were at a library.
Anyway, that's is a moment in my life. I'm not going to say it was traumatic.
it sounded like it was.
It probably was.
Like, are you kidding
It
me?
explains a lot.
I don't even know how to feel about that. You went to a room and no one was there and you're traumatized by that?
No, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that explains a lot about my now behavior and why I don't like empty spaces.
It was a core memory.
I just don't
Oh,
know.
like that movie Inside Out.
They're
like
making
that
a
movie.
sequel.
Are they?
Yeah.
Outside In?
Yeah, sure.
Living the lead.
Why was that movie called Inside Out?
I don't know.
Because it's your inside emotions.
But they weren't out. They were inside
They
where
were-
they're
They
supposed
were
to be.
all gay.
They were out of
They
whack.
were out.
It's
Anyways.
your corner.
What did you
No, I'm
do?
not done talking about scary stuff.
Okay, all right. I love this season.
Like,
Spooky.
This is
We
the
had
new
a Friday
season
the
of the podcast?
13th.
No, the spooky season.
I mean, my corner was just gonna be done talking about video games,
Hey, oh,
but this
wow.
is more interesting to me.
Original. Hey, oh.
Well, we could bring up like
I'll leave right
Silent
now.
Hill.
You can't. It's your home.
I can leave my house whenever I want to.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the freedom of owning your own home.
Could you imagine if he didn't even leave the house? He just like sat in that chair there
Just look at us.
and just hung out while we recorded the rest of
And
the
like,
podcast.
I'm like full, like slouched with my fucking phone on my stomach.
He keeps trying to show us stuff.
Look at that.
It starts out as subtle, just like.
Yeah, that's real funny, John.
Hey, Chris.
Trying to record over here, John. Trying to record.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So, what are things that really fucking get you guys? Because I feel like your guys' are gonna be like specific things,
I think
and you're gonna be like the unending void that is love and eternity.
I think
guess, like, I
Scott
don't know.
really gets me.
Huh?
No. I'm talking about getting scared.
Oh.
Although there is last year when we did the fucking scary season
Uh-huh.
and we streamed. God, that Discord prank was one of the fucking best things in the world.
I every time I leave your bathroom, I always check to the left because the one time Andy was hiding in your room and scared the shit out of me
I don't even remember
when I
this.
came out of the bathroom. You don't remember this?
No.
It's late at night. We were playing D&D. I go use the bathroom. I come out and was like, all right, guys, ready? And Andy was hiding in John's room and was like, ah! And I fucking fell. And I jumped
don't
up and
remember that at
fell
all.
down in the hallway.
Must have been during John's game?
Yeah.
I think
That
it
is-
had to have been. Yeah.
Like Curse
Or I
of
guess
Strahd
you could have
campaign.
been
No.
DMing for all I know.
Well, I was going to say, like, something that specifically gets me into a bad spot are things that crawl that shouldn't be
Yeah.
crawling,
Yeah.
is what I was really going for.
Like
Hmm.
people.
Like, no, that's actually accurate.
Yeah.
So, like, when there's, like, the Exorcist thing where she's, like, crawling down the stairs or on the wall,
Mm.
and, like, her back's, like, broken,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, nope. I am shooting that thing in the fucking face.
Have you seen the videos? They're short videos of the milk thief.
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about here?
He's got that white mask.
And he's in like a black morph suit.
What?
I'll show you a video of it later.
Okay.
But it's very much similar to that. It's like this creature. It's always in like a humorous situation
Yeah.
for the most part, but
Okay.
it's this guy in this morph suit, and he's in like a white mask over his face, and he just walks and moves in this very weird,
Ugh.
grotesque way, kind of crawling around on the
Mm.
floor. And like, I think the first video that really popped off was he just wanted to steal this guy's jug of milk. And so it's just like this guy, like a POV cam of him like in his kitchen, and he like turns around for a moment and he turns back, and in like the doorway you just see this creature, this like black creature with his white mask like peeking around the corner. And then it like shuffles into the room and like grabs his milk and runs away.
One that I've seen is they had the creature in like at the end of this long like sewer tunnel,
Like a culvert.
and he like I think he puts a jar of milk or something at the in front of the thing, and then like creeps around the tunnel and just peers in with his camera, and you just see the like down the tunnel coming real fast.
No.
Yeah.
I think
would
that's
hate
the other
that.
thing. Just like the long, like straightaways, where like the crawling thing is just like that's when it's at its strongest. If there is a round fucking like silhouette of like the tunnel, it's like this thing beats me. This thing's just like like Lickers in Resident Evil scared the shit out of me at first because they could just like hop around on any fucking surface. And I'm like, if I just see that thing crawling towards me, I'm screaming like a 4-year-old little girl.
Wow.
Or
Sexist.
boy,
Thank
because
you.
their voice hasn't dropped yet.
Thank you.
I've
Or
got,
whatever gender they identify as.
I've got a couple of things that bother me. And I'm saying this to you guys in confidence
Yeah.
that I hope you don't tell anybody else or use it against me.
Is it portraits of small children?
It's not. That
Is it
doesn't
porcelain
bother me.
dolls?
Dozens of people.
They're mine. That's
Dozens.
mine.
So 2 things. Generally, things in the dark. Not even necessarily things I can't see in the dark. Specifically, as we found out on a couple of episodes ago, eyes peering at me in the dark really bother me. And then the second thing is screaming. Like, hearing people in distress really bothers me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. I was recently watching a YouTube channel that just posts 911 calls,
Why
Mhm.
would you do that?
and I was just listening to some of them, and the ones that bothered me the most are the people who call in who are not calm, who are not in control of their situation, and are just like frantic and screaming in panic. That messes me up.
Oof.
I get that completely.
Yeah. So, yeah, hearing people very much in distress bothers me.
It depends for me, because, like, you talking about that makes me think of, like, the chimp attack video,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
where she's, like, freaking out about that. But then, like, I also think about other, like, distress videos, or, like, calls, where, like, it's a parent that just is panicked.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just want to beat the shit out of him. Like, dude, you need to calm down if you want to help your kid or whatever's wrong.
Yeah.
Those make me angry. But, like, the chimp one with the lady, like, you can just hear the sorrow and fear in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, have you ever heard the call from, like, an active shooter or something?
Mm-mm.
So, I recently heard a call from, that happened, the one that was in, the Oregon district.
Yeah.
I heard a call from that. And I was like, dude, that's intense.
Really?
That was nuts.
That's crazy because I don't remember that shooting happening, like, taking very long at all.
Yeah, there was a
because
cop on the
there was
scene.
already cops there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like I heard something about that, and it was like you just hear the fear in the voice, and you hear like I think I heard like 3 or 4 more gunshots,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it was the shots from the police.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, dude, that's insane.
I've listened to so much live death. Have you were saying you're spooking of things in the dark, or it's not necessarily things, and it made me immediately think of this GIF that I sent John a long time ago when we were talking about, like, I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about. This guy.
What is
Oh
that?
yeah.
I don't know. I just found him on
I
the.
don't like it.
I don't like that.
I
that,
love
that
it.
almost fits the eyes in the dark kind of
Yeah,
thing.
god
That-
damn it. I'm gonna have to look at that to put it in the podcast now
Yeah, you are.
during the edit.
Just
We can just
type,
make Chris edit.
just type demon into the GIF finder. That's what I've thought of.
And
Honestly, you go.
sorry, my bad. And Until Dawn, there was at the very beginning of the game, man, Until Dawn gave me some high hopes. And then it just kind of met out.
Yeah.
Because like the story was still very linear.
Mm-hmm.
But at the very beginning of the game, it's talking about like it gives you a photo, and it's like, "Hey, how do you feel about this photo?" And you
Yeah.
can say like, "It's fine," or
That's pretty
"It
cool.
bothers me."
I wish it mattered more.
I agree. And then they're like, "Well, after looking at it a little bit longer, are you sure it bothers you?" And this was the part that like this was the amount of choices that was really interesting to me, because you can just say like, "Yeah, it looks fine," and then move on. But then you can be like, "No, never mind. There's something off about this." And then it'll ask you like, "Well, what do you think is
what's
off?"
wrong with it?
And you can say like, the barn in the background, or it feels like something's watching me. And there's this little corner piece just tucked in the corner, and you really don't see it until you're actually looking at it. Where you're like, maybe that's not corn stalks, maybe those are eyes. And like you can just like really lean into like the psychology of it. And I'm like, that's interesting to me. I thought that was cool more than scary. Unless like I'm actually looking at that scene, and then I'm like, that's Kyle's Black Panther. I'm gonna die. It's gonna
Kyle's
eat me.
Black Panther.
From
From
the
the other
previous
side.
episode. It's been a couple weeks.
In his cornfield. That was gonna kill
Oh
him.
yes,
Yeah.
of course. Kyle, I know Kyle.
Kyle.
Nothing really. Honestly, I'm not some Chad. I promise. I'm just kind of numb to it. Nothing really gets me. Plenty of things I can think about just disturb me,
Like
but-
what?
Like Disturbed.
like actual real life death.
Man?
Yes.
Like I've seen so many real life death videos and audio of people actually no longer being alive, and that can be pretty rough. Like there's some World War II images that are pretty fucking hard to look at,
Mm-hmm.
and other than that, I don't know.
Mm.
Like when I'm watching a spooky movie, I've talked about this before. I think at least with you guys, I've certainly talked about this. When I'm watching a spooky movie, or even having like a nightmare, in the nightmare I'll be like, "Oh well, that's scary." I can recognize that this is scary.
All right.
But normally in the nightmare, it's not very well produced. But so in a good horror movie, I'll be like, oh shit, yeah. Like it literally is like that. If we were to record me watching those spooky videos for the first time, if we could do that, and it was something I liked, I'd be like, yeah. Like leaning forward while Chris is like, no.
Dude. So the first video, Cody, since you haven't seen it, is like it tries to play off of a very realism aspect
Yeah.
of these kids just going on a fucking road trip or something. Or
They should
going
be
across
proud
town.
of that fucking video.
It was a well done video. And like it didn't bother me up until like the very end of it. Where like everything just like culminated. But like, man. Now that I just thought about that, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Great acting. Great acting in that short there.
There
Was
really
it acting?
I hope.
Didn't it say that it was based off of a true event?
I don't know.
Well, you can't have actual snuff
didn't.
films on YouTube.
Allegedly. Unless you're just really good at making it look fake.
Okay. I am made very uncomfortable by blood coming out of orifices that it shouldn't.
Chris, you already went. Like, we already know what makes you uncomfortable.
I have so many.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like,
All right, so
if you get a cut or
like-
something, or you like out of your asshole?
no, like listen,
That one.
listen to me.
That one.
Stop.
Because I'm scared about that.
Like a nosebleed?
Like you're just looking at somebody, right? And then just suddenly
Like their eyes
they
start
go to
bleeding.
talk, and then blood just comes out of their mouth and just starts coming out of their mouth.
How many times have you seen that happen in real life?
No, I'm saying like I was watching a YouTube I was watching a music video.
Oh, he's talked about this. Is it Marilyn Manson?
No, I don't know who the fuck it was, but it just I don't like it. And so every time that I see it, just blood coming out of someone's mouth, mostly, Eyes, I'm just like, okay, this is some weird horror thing. And ears, I'm like, oh, well, you fucked up your eardrum. But it's blood gushing out of someone's mouth.
It's because they bit their tongue.
I've bit my tongue.
Or they brush
real
their
bad.
teeth too hard.
Yeah.
Or they brush their teeth
Or
too
they
hard.
not enough, and they have
Mm.
gingivitis.
Mm.
Do you hate the disabled?
Wow. I can't believe what
No.
I'm learning all of a sudden.
They just scare me.
Oh, that's right.
Something I've noticed about you in particular, Chris, is things just tend to leave an impression on you.
Yeah.
Really
That's
easily.
true.
Yeah.
You're like one of those, what do you call those where you like put your hand in it and it's like metal rods that move? And,
Oh, I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
I used to have a little toy thing of that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's real fun to play with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they are.
You're like that.
It's like a kinetic toy.
Yeah. I don't.
I was
don't-
gonna say you're like Play-Doh.
Sure.
Oh,
That's probably better than
Your
what I said.
psyche is like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
that's
Moldable.
You just,
Especially with a very good craftsman.
you
Am I a Manchurian candidate target?
No, they wouldn't want you.
You're too
Why?
impressionable.
He's so unassuming.
Oh. Actually, real talk, okay, everything's on the table. You're looking for CIA agents. Literally, it's you.
Really? You
Yeah.
think?
You're just a guy in the background. That's what they want. You don't look altogether
That's true.
interesting. Like, I'm too big. They'd be like, look at that fat loser. Like, you're too small.
Yeah.
He's
Also,
like right in the middle.
also like you kind of take center stage.
Really?
Yeah, 100. You're surprised about that?
Bit of a prima donna.
Yeah, a bit.
Like the moment that like the conversation's gone too long in the direction you don't want it to. you're like
I'm going to stop talking about this now and start talking about this.
But also like for me, when I get upset, I'm not gonna be quiet about it.
Yeah.
If somebody fucks me wrong, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna get my $20 back.
You were the guy that could walk into a building and just be like, I don't think you personally could do this, but from a aesthetic standpoint, you could walk into a building and just be like, and they'd be like, yeah. Because they're just like, okay, yeah, look at him.
You're really good at no one knowing anything.
We're talking about Chris, by the way, for the listeners. I don't know if he said that.
You just like the next day you're like, oh yeah, that was a really great party. Where were you at the whole time? I walked around. I said hi to you twice.
Yeah, I was here the whole time.
We didn't go to college together. How did you know? That's what they said.
Who is this?
I don't know why I'm all of a sudden saying this and like totally outing Kyle, but last night he recorded his stuff and John and I were waiting for him to finish so we could play Rocket League. And the first thing Kyle said when he was testing out his webcam was, I have a fat neck. I don't know why that came to my mind just now.
I wanted to.
He fucked the audio a little bit. He recorded the
He told me.
videos, but
Yeah.
it's okay, honestly.
I should just be able to sync it together.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was-
nodes.
That was the first thing he messaged me. He was I fucked the audio,
It's not
and then it was like 4 hours later he explained what he did, and I'm like, bro, if I was not asleep during that whole thing, I would have been like, what the fuck do you mean? Why did you wait like 4 hours to explain this?
Oh no. Great.
So anyways,
Porcelain dolls also are awful. Anything with eyes, like paintings or
An animal?
dolls or like
person?
action figures that or like little statues that people get, like of Batman and stuff, and they have little eyes in them, right?
A Batman statue? What in the fuck
Just
are you
anything
talking
with
about?
eyes freak me out.
Windows
Like
into
they're
the soul.
looking at me. I don't like it.
What about
Chris?
that painting of Jesus Christ would bother you?
There's about
Oh, they're too
18
small.
things on that thing that'll
And
bother
they're not
him.
looking at you, right? They're not
Jesus
like a
is
single
like,
figure.
he's like side-eyeing you a bit.
The pictures of John's family on his wall.
And my grandma and grandpa?
Yeah, your grandma and grandpa.
Meemaw peepaw.
Mirrors also bother me.
Yeah.
Like something's gonna come out
This
of
is something
of
that's
a
come
mirror.
up a lot.
It's all because of the fucking movie.
What movie?
I don't remember the name of the movie, but
Visage?
I don't know.
Oculus?
Oculus, that's the one,
I
Oculus.
didn't watch the movie, But
I
I
think it was
saw. I
Oculus.
only
What the
saw
fuck,
a
Chris?
trailer for the movie.
It almost certainly was
and
Oculus.
someone was just like looking in it, and then like it like smiled and like turned its head, and then like a hand started crawling out of her mouth.
That sounds pretty cool.
And that freaked me out. Also, there's that other horror movie where the lady's in like a shower
Oh.
and like hands come out of the back of
Yeah,
her
no,
head.
that was like The Grudge.
Or
'Cause
Yeah.
there was
Was it
also the
Grudge?
scene. There was also the scene where like she starts coughing up in front of the sink and she starts pulling hair out of her mouth,
Mm.
and like she looks down her throat, and you just see the girl's
face.
eye,
Yeah.
like, and
I
I'm
think
like,
it was a little boy.
That
actually.
was
oh,
a,
was that the boy?
that was a really good impression you did right there.
I did not
It
wash my
actually weirdly
hair.
was.
I did not wash my hair for 2 months.
Yeah,
I haven't washed my hair for 10 years.
and I still am scared
that
like,
explains
in
it.
the shower. Psycho also made the shower scary. Just from getting stabbed.
I will say the one scene in Psycho when Norman Bates stabs the detective that comes to the house.
Yeah.
That scene is great, like peak horror,
Yeah.
because the camera is so high up, you're like at an objective view, and the detective is coming up the stairs, and then like there's no crazy sounds, there's no jumpy cameras or whatever. Norman Bates, dressed as his mom, just walks into frame carrying this knife, and the detective doesn't see him and just stabs him. The scene after that, where the detective falls down the steps, wacky and goofy as hell. But there's just something so extremely scary to me about the suddenness and the unsolemnity of Bates coming into frame like that.
Can't trust old women because of Psycho, and also because of Legion, which is also the crawling thing.
Legion, like
The demon.
Exorcist 3?
No.
No.
Oh.
This is like there's demon. It's not Exorcist 3.
It's
There's,
the end of the world
there's like an
happening,
angel,
and there's an angel protecting this woman who's pregnant.
I remember there being a diner, and demons were like
Yep.
attacking the diner.
Yeah,
Oh,
And-
I think I know what you're talking
I
about.
have no
one of the
idea what we're
old
talking about.
ladies, the old lady in the diner is like, "Oh dear, you're pregnant." Ah,
Oh, I have
Yes!
seen a clip of this.
yes. And then she goes crawling on the ceiling and tries to attack and kill the lady.
Yeah.
Can't trust old women.
That also happens in Exorcist 3.
Oh, okay.
Right. You know, there's also an X-Man named Legion.
There is.
Yep.
The show is great.
There's also an X-Man named Elixir. He's the healer. That's why his name's Elixir.
Elixir damn near wrote up her 401k. Doesn't make any sense. Who writes up a 401k? Why are you guys laughing?
It was the projection.
The joke didn't make any sense.
It was the projection.
I'm a failure.
I remember Paranormal Activity 3 fucked with me for a little while.
Yeah, that coven of witches. At the
Yeah.
end.
And what really fucked with me also, this was the other thing. That was the movie, not fucking Jason or Michael Myers, but that was the movie that made me realize that like
Fucking Zoomer movie. Can you believe this?
when they're just walking towards you calmly,
Mhm.
that fucks with me
That's
so
the
hard.
Mr. X, the
Yep.
Nemesis.
Yep.
Paranormal Activity 3 also highlights something, kind of what Chris was talking about that spooks me. If I'm looking in a mirror and I look away, I don't want to look back in the mirror because something might be behind me.
Right.
Paranormal Activity 3 has a very similar thing because he has the camera set up on the oscillating fan, and it'll move out of frame and then it'll come back and something will be there, like a
Mhm.
ghost. It's spooky.
But that house at the end of it
Mm-hmm.
reminded me a lot of my parents' house.
I can see that.
And I remember it was like a group of guys. This might have been the night that like that whole place was just like quiet, because this was also at the Green where we went to go see it. And like on the way back, one of the guys were so scared to go home and sleep that they asked if they could stay the night at my house, and we just slept in my living room because I did not want to be by myself.
Man, I don't know. I feel like there's a threshold that they hit in with horror productions in regard to me, where if you try if you don't try enough, then you're not trying enough. It's just not spooky. There's a golden ratio where if they try just enough, then it's effective. I'd say, as silly as this might sound, Signs is in that golden ratio. Not necessarily for me, but in general, it's not all that spooky, but like there's things like that scene of him in the cornfield. That's pretty fucking great. The movie has its issues, don't get me wrong. I think, genuinely, that's the last actual good M. Night Shyamalan movie. Regardless. But then there's another threshold that Paranormal Activity fits in, where they just try way too hard. Like, I get it, you're trying to spook me. It's not really working, because, what? The ghost is moving you around? Great. That's spooky, huh? Great. But then,
Chris, you keep looking down the hallway. Is everything okay? You want to sit over there?
Quick.
Or you want to sit over here?
What's really not kosher about your hallway, John, is you have a mirror at the very end of it.
Well, there's that.
And that's not cool.
That's a problem?
Yeah.
There's also
a light.
There's a light coming in through one of them, and I keep thinking that I'm gonna look, and there's gonna be a shadow. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna.
Dude, I love those moments in video games where, like, hey, that's the direction you have to go, but there's a shadow there. And then as soon as you get, like, 2 steps away, you see the shadow just move.
Mm-hmm.
Or you turn the corner and there's nothing there. Or more horrifyingly, if there is a justifiable reason for that shadow to be there, like there might be like, I don't know, like some sort of, are you okay, buddy?
I'm good.
Like there's something that's causing the shadow and you're like, oh, it was just this. And the game's like, don't worry, you can let your guard down. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
But I think there's a separate, after Paranormal Activity where they try so hard that it actually comes back around and is effective. I put Hereditary in that motherfucker. Hereditary tries really goddamn hard to make sure you're scared, and it works. I was spooked. I mean, for the most part. That one scene that really got me was, this is spoilers for Hereditary, is when the son is waking up, and it's near the end of the movie, and like in the darkness, you can see, you know exactly.
Toni Collette.
You can see her like up on the walls or whatever the fuck. But the movie has tricked you, without you even realizing it the whole time, into thinking that, oh, that thing in the, like, because you'll see something and you're like, what the, oh, it's a jacket. But it's tricked you, and now at the end of the movie, you're like, what the fuck? And then the scene just moves forward.
And it's like, yeah, it doesn't draw attention to it at all. Like the camera doesn't like hang on it or anything, and it's just dark enough, and it's so uninterrupting of the film, like it just kind of moves past, and you're like, wait, was that Toni Collette up on the ceiling? The bit at the end of Hereditary where this is spooky to me was when the son sees all the people in the corners of the rooms. Like there's one where that guy from the funeral is just like hanging out in the closet, and he's just over there. He's just looking.
Want some juice?
And it bothers me. I think Hereditary is just kind of, it does hit that like golden shower, like you said.
Golden shower.
Where it's very spooky, and it's trying really hard.
Yeah.
But it works. Because it's trying really hard to be very subtle about it as well.
Pause for 1 second. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's so much better.
Literally didn't make a noise. The chair didn't make a single beep.
I was scared, okay? I was scared.
But yeah, in my head, there's 2 golden ratios. The one where you try, it's just in between trying not enough and trying too hard, and then trying so hard that actually it is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only example I can think of that is like just at the end of trying just enough would be Arkham Knight, weirdly enough, where there'll be times throughout Arkham Knight where, another spoiler alert, I mean, it's been games been out for a while, you have Joker in your head. Batman has Joker in his head. Yeah. There's times where you're just traversing the world and you look at a poster and the poster is like Jokerified. And you just move on, you're like, wait a second. And you look back and then it's just a normal poster. Like, it'll be like Mayor Quincy Sharp for running for re-election. But then you see it initially and it's like the Joker. He's got crazy, like vote for the Joker. And you're like, what the fuck was that? And you look back and it was just the Mayor Quincy Sharp poster.
I love those gaslighting moments in those games.
The Arkham series in general is good at that because the first, anyone who's played them knows what I'm talking about. in the first game, you get scarecrowed,
Yep.
Mhm.
and you're walking down. It was the first PS3 game I ever played. You're walking down this hallway, and the game breaks. Like it's, and then you hear like that, and then it's like the game is broken. And you're
That was well done.
and I'm like, oh fuck, man, I just got this console. Like genuinely, I was like, no, I don't even know when it saved. What just happened? And then the game restarts, and I'm like, it goes to the initial cutscene at the beginning of the game. I'm like, what in the fuck just happened? Please don't overwrite my autosave, because there isn't a manual save. And but instead of Batman driving the Batmobile, it's the Joker taking Batman to Arkham Asylum. And it's just really cool.
Yep.
The game fucking got me.
Yep.
Dude.
And nothing is as good as that first moment, but throughout the rest of the game, the Scarecrow bits will just happen, not randomly,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll happen at certain moments, and they happen just far enough apart from each other where you'll forget about
Yep.
them, and you pick up on it a little quicker. But I just remember several times playing Arkham Asylum where I was just walking through a room, looking for clues or whatever, and then, like, the walls just start to melt, and I'm like,
God
shit.
damn it. I love those games.
At this point, you just regularly trip acid, so you're like, well, it's in my system. You guys don't have that?
No.
Oh,
I recently learned.
I love Scarecrow.
people who are habitual users of like hallucinogens. If they'll like crack their back,
Yeah.
they like
They like
chunks of psilocybin that are in their
Oh,
spine
shit.
re-enter their system.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. It collects in your spine, allegedly.
That's what I've
this.
heard. That's what I've heard. I don't know.
And if you, crack your back in such a way, it can release the chemicals back into your bloodstream.
huh. I'll be right back. I'll
Have
wait
you-
till you guys are.
I recently this is pretty creepy. Honestly, this kind of got me, mainly because of how real it is. I didn't know people abused Benadryl as much as they do.
Yeah.
There was a video. I wish I knew I didn't know we were going to talk about this. Maybe look it up and post it. The guy made an iceberg video about the Benadryl abuse culture.
Oh, really?
And it was just half an hour long, but it was actually kind of spooky because, like, I think the spooky thing is the laissez-faire attitude a lot of people have about it. For some people, they're like in, and it's a joke. It's kind of like a meme within the community that this is a horrible drug that I can't stop taking because now I'm horribly addicted to it.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's like, oh, isn't that fun? This drug sucks, you know.
Yeah.
And people talk about how you like. I'm not going to go into it. I wish honestly, it made me uncomfortable how much he went into the actual procedure of using it and what you cut it with, and to like get the the edge off the Benadryl or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But apparently, it's the thing that is the gateway to it is apparently it can make people shoot pretty hard. If you take it in a low enough dose at first. Jizz. Real hard. They can jizz real hard.
Oh,
But then, apparently, if you do that, it has sometimes your dick doesn't work for a month. Sometimes it never works ever again.
oh my God! Why risk that?
I know, right?
I mean, if you're a girl, I guess you're fine. But like,
I don't
A
even know if
guy?
it has an effect for a girl, though.
whew, that's like, it might be worth it.
I disagree. But it's one of those, if you take alcohol a lot, if you are a hardcore alcoholic, you will have hallucinations later in life.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, in regards to Benadryl, if you're a habitual user for a month, you could have permanent hallucinations.
Awesome.
You say awesome, but they talk about the fucking Hat Man. The Hat Man I mentioned
He's
him
actually related to the dog-faced man.
in an earlier podcast. I mentioned the Hat Man, just said the words Hat Man, and then we moved on. And the Hat Man is a Benadryl hallucination, and he's like a meme within the community where like a Benadryl Chad is the Hat Man's son, the spawn of the Hat Man, and you just see he's just this creepy figure that apparently you hallucinate. And there are these Benadryl hallucination simulation videos, and people say they are really accurate, and they look fucking creepy as shit. I don't know why anyone would want
I
that.
guess what the thing that bothers me is, like, a lot of people say they see him if they're shooting up Benadryl.
It's similar to the DMT elves. And they don't shoot it up. I think they straight up drink
I
it.
just said it. I didn't know
Or
what it
there's
was.
pills. They crush them up,
Yeah.
and I think they just put them in tea and shit. They might snort them. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know
like-
enough about the...
If everybody's seeing it, that's what worries me.
It's
Yeah.
like the DMT elves. When you take DMT, apparently... I don't know how true this is. I've been told this. Apparently, when you take DMT, people have these clockwork elf hallucinations.
Collective hallucinations.
Yeah.
That's
Where
crazy.
like a dozen people will all take DMT or ayahuasca at the same time, and they'll all have the same hallucination, or they'll all report to have the same
Yeah.
hallucination, be seeing the same things.
I want to believe them, but I just don't.
It's one of those things where if I do believe it, I don't know how to explain it other than... Like, either they are peering beyond the veil,
Mhm.
and whatever they're seeing is actually there, because how could it be shared otherwise?
Yeah.
Or there's some sort of there literally is a collective unconscious, and they are like a pocket of unconsciousness, of subconsciousness, I should say, all sharing each other with, and I guess taking DMT heightens that or some shit. I don't know.
That's wild.
If any of that's true, then those are the only explanations I can think of.
Well, if the chemicals in it might trigger specific areas of the brain to produce certain things.
Sure.
So if you can just trigger your cones and rods in a certain way, you'll always see the same hallucination. Right?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor or a scientist.
And the collective unconsciousness then could just be the fact that we all have a shared zeitgeist, societal parameters. So
See,
like we all
now-
recognize a face.
Now we're like delving into the idea. I was thinking about this too. I try to spook myself a lot, and it doesn't often work. I was thinking about how this might spook you. Maybe this
Fuck
isn't even something that
you.
you've thought about. It's not that spooky. You know, by any measure of understanding, Slender Man is real. A girl almost died. To those people, apparently, Slender Man was real enough for them to convince themselves to try and hurt someone. They did hurt her badly.
Yeah. I've just learned
Fuck
a new game I can play
you.
with Chris.
Like, what I'm saying is, if the zeitgeist is just a collective unconscious, then it's a collective unconscious.
Yeah.
It's as real as we think it is.
Like I was watching all the Marble Hornets videos, right? And I was walking.
You did?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
I know. However,
I won't even watch
I was
Marble
binging
Hornets.
them.
They aren't so bad.
We watched
So-
them together.
Yeah.
I got very terrified and I just kept adding to it. So one day I was walking in the Platts close to where I was living, and I saw the operator symbol
Oh, yeah.
just reflected on a building, and I'm like, fuck this! And I bolted.
The operator symbol is the
I-
circle with the X.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
making
And I'm
sure.
just like, Chris, that was nothing. There was nothing there. Why'd you freak out about that? I'm like, because it was there, and it
Here's
was
something
a thing.
I didn't know. I recently learned about like the history of Marble Hornets. Did you know it came before the game?
Yeah.
They literally started making it when they saw the initial Something Awful forums, and like the first episode released, and they made Slender Man. Even though because the initial posts are nothing like what Slender Man is.
Mm-hmm.
He's like an eldritch horror. He kind of is like that, but like he's like they got proxies and shit because of Marble Hornets. Like they take people's lives over or whatever the fuck. Point is, they've come forward. The Marble Hornets creators have come forward and say this is the operator. This is not Slender Man, for not necessarily legal reasons, but we were inspired by Slender Man to make this character. We thought we liked his look, and we're like, that's spooky as shit. Let's do this. They're the ones who made him like weird and tall and lanky.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who they made Slender Man without, like, accidentally. And then the game came out because they were inspired by the 8 pages came out,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they were consultants on the Arrival, Slender Man: The Arrival.
Mm-hmm.
But they like apparently had a whole mock up for a story, but the game developers just kind of,
There's people outside.
oh my
It
goodness.
spooks me.
The developers went a different direction though. Regardless, I learned that recently. Get out of here! Get out of it!
Scott.
So this new-
Scott, please.
This new game that I can play
Please.
with Chris, and I think maybe I can play with you too,
Yeah.
is just like I'm looking at you, I'm looking just like a
Yeah.
I just did that to Chris looking down the hallway while he was looking to you, and I just saw he completely collapsed down.
Another
Guys,
thing.
it's too easy.
Another
Please
thing
stop.
that I realize spooks me out. Things through windows.
Yeah.
Because that first Marble Hornets video.
It's so subtle.
It's so subtle.
When he just says,
Yep. And I'm like, that's where I stopped. I'm like, nope, we're good. And then also, Paranormal Activity 3, when they're at the house at the end, the guy, the dad, just like looks out a window and there's just a dozen witches performing like some satanic ritual.
Yeah.
on
It's
his
like
front
so-
lawn.
There's like a fire back there and
this
everything.
is kind of what I mean when I say it's trying too hard. It's so fucking over the top that it becomes funny to me.
Well-
Can you imagine looking at your window and just seeing a fucking coven of witches performing a ritual?
Well, it's just how quickly it happens. Like he just looks over and it's just like so like you have no concept of expecting that.
That reminds me of
Chris, you gotta face the
I'm
the
sorry.
microphone. You can't just curl up into a ball.
He doesn't want to put his back to the hallway.
I don't.
There's dangerous things down the hallway. I can
Chris,
see them now
Chris,
creeping up.
Chris, here's the thing though. If your back's not to the hallway, it's to the kitchen.
Mm.
Yeah, but you're closer to the kitchen, so you die first. I at least
I
hear your
disagree.
screaming and I run.
There's no way he's making it through the night at the haunted house.
I'm
I'm
excited.
so excited.
Look,
I'm excited.
here's the thing, right? Speaking of that,
Just
I-
make it
I
scientific.
think it's Insidious that this happens in, but there's like a kid in the
Mhm.
yard, and he looks out the window at the kid, and the kid goes running off this side, and then he's like, "What?" And then just suddenly, just right next to the window, comes the monster thing.
I liked
the
it.
weird clown
the
face.
The design, I think it was Insidious with that like weird, like shiny red demon. Was that
Oh, yeah.
Insidious?
I think
Mhm.
Good
It
design.
might have been, yeah.
Good design on
That
that.
Doja Cat music video,
I
there's
don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
hot.
there's another bit, I think in Insidious 2, where the camera is just tracking some family member throughout the house,
Yeah,
and they walk into a kitchen, and it's a blink and you miss it kind of thing, but the demon kid is just in the background
Yeah.
of one shot, like at a coat rack. He's just standing there,
yeah.
and the mother or whoever the camera was tracking just doesn't see it, and the camera just moves right past it. Like it doesn't like linger on it or anything. So it's like you either saw it or you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The new It movie also did that a
A
lot.
lot of stuff in the background.
A lot of Pennywises
I,
in the background.
I
Yeah.
actually never saw them. I have not seen them.
I really don't recommend them.
The first one I liked.
People
Yeah.
like them a lot, but my big thing about horror movies, it's again, it goes to the try too hard thing where you might as well be going spooked ya, ah! and like playing a loud noise.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah, there's a shitload of it. Like when I don't know, the clown starts running and doing something spooky and looking spooky, and it literally is like someone's like shaking a bell at me, going ding 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 ding, ding, it's spooky. And that's what it literally sounds like in the movie. I think it was also Insidious. This is a shot I think about a lot. There's like a reverse shot of two characters having a conversation, and you see the one person at the end of one table, and I think it might be the Warrens.
Are you talking about the red thing just like right beside him, like
And,
doing
like,
the hissing thing
It's
or whatever?
shot, reverse shot, and then just boom, and that like red demon's just there.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, "Oh, that's cool. I liked that," even though it's technically also a jump scare, but it was just cool. It was well executed, I felt.
Yep.
And I guess that's the big rub for me is execution. But I don't know. I'm not a filmmaker. That being said, I have some like the way my creativity tends to work. I feel is I'll get images in my head, and or just like scenes that I think would be cool. This is a bit of a sneak peek for you, listener, if you get this deep in. We have another project like on the back burner that I want to do at least. Called Ron. And Ron,
Hello, Ron.
I just have this cool image of Ron being in his studio, and then we just hear, like, I'm sorry for the audio, we just hear like a... And he's just looking at the door, and it's just going... And he's just, like, looking at the door, and we're just watching Ron watch the door as it, like, the
And it's like, they're trying to, like, force it open.
or maybe not, because they're just, like knocking on it fast and, like, jingling the thing, and we're just a single unbroken shot of him looking at the door like this, while the door is, like, like, rattling, and then it just stops, and he just, like, next caller, like that kind of thing.
Dude, that hits... My mom is really good at telling suspenseful stories, and I suck at telling any story.
Concussions.
Yeah, sure. But there was one story that she told about the old house. I know I've told you guys this before. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast.
You have.
Okay, then we'll move on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It was like one of the first episodes.
I think it was the first.
It might have been. But like the idea of like, my sister was like 6 or 7, and it was just those two in the house, and there was like that glass door that like just separated the front and back of the house.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and it was just like the glass door was just like shaking violently, and my sister's a fucking idiot for believing this, but she asked my mom like, why was it doing that? And she was like, oh, she's like, it's because it's a storm going on, but it's the middle of the house.
I don't remember this.
And
I
like,
do.
and
Yeah,
like,
he
my
definitely
sister's
told us
like,
that.
oh, well, I'll just go open it. And she's like, no, don't touch it.
Oh, yes.
And she's
Okay.
like, why? And it wasn't until like later that like,
What she didn't know.
that what she didn't know. Like, that's exactly how my mom said it. She's like, but what I didn't tell her that day, there was nobody else in the house. No one could have been there. It was a ghost.
Your delivery of that in the podcast always makes me laugh because, like, it was a ghost.
And I'm just like, when like she said that in front of my sister, like I realized that was the first time my sister was hearing this, and she was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "That was an evil spirit." And I'm like, wow, this just re-unlocked a memory in my sister's head that is now going to keep her up for like ever.
Here's the thing, guys. I know it's for the channel, but I'm not looking forward to this ghost hunt.
Oh,
I don't think you're looking
excited.
forward to watching the spooky videos.
Nope, not looking forward
They're
to that
really
either.
not that bad. I promise you, they're not that bad. What was making me not watch them was I was scared they were going to be really bad. Once I was done with it, I was like, it got me twice. It got me 2 times, and both times didn't even really, like, one really got me. The other one was psychological.
You
more
might
than
be
anything
making
else.
it worse.
The thumbnail to doors.
Doors.
Just
I
does
don't
not
like it.
I keep
I
saying
really
this.
don't like it.
I keep
Yeah.
saying this to you guys.
Another thing I don't like is weird, distorted, grinny faces.
Yep. I keep saying this to you guys. I don't think I've said in this podcast. One of the videos I'm going to have them watch is Doors. And the night before I curated this list, I watched a shitload of just short horror films. And I saw the thumbnail for Doors, and I'm like, this is going to be stupid. This is going to be like some hokey, like, oh, look at the spooky smiley face. Oh, isn't that great? And Doors really fucking surprised me. Have you seen it yet?
I guess I'll just
It's
go ahead
going
and
to
share.
fuck you up.
Because I don't think it's going to fuck with you guys like it did me. There was the one thing that got me indoors is one of the 2 things. Was just that one of the characters' names was Jonathan.
Yeah.
And that was what got me. That's where I paused.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, I just looked at the camera. I'm like, fuck you, Scott. You're a piece of shit for doing this.
I think it'll get you in particular because it really is a psychological thing. It's like, I'm not going to talk anymore. I want you to
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I want you to watch it.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
See, the problem is,
It's like 45 minutes.
A total of 45.
God.
A total for everything, a total of 45
Here's
minutes.
the
Yeah.
thing. Is I let Chris take all the flack, but I'm just as much of a
yeah.
wuss as he is.
And also, you deflect when we're like, oh yeah, he got so spooked at Outlast. He's like, I was a literal child, guys. No different. You've changed none.
Yeah.
I'm
I
excited.
think you guys are going to do great. Chris has already watched half of them.
We just can't have you two be the team. It'll be probably you and your brother. And it'll be you and John. I think.
Yeah, no, you're with me.
Like, I could just, I
Are
just,
you crying?
Shut up.
There's no crying in podcasts.
like,
No,
I
in
just,
the buff.
I just don't want to, like, go to sleep in that house and us just have like a camera set up throughout the night and something show up
Cody.
while I'm asleep.
That's all I want.
No!
I'm so sorry for putting this image in your head,
Cody.
but there's gonna be a time where he's asleep. One of you guys are gonna be asleep, and like we're just gonna see this fucking footage where the blankets just fucking get yanked off, and then somebody just.
Like,
Cody.
man, I hope we
They
get something
can
like that.
stay the night in the house.
Part of
you
the
and I
experience.
are
No,
eating Waffle House all
no.
night.
Part of the experience
No.
of ghost hunting is taking a nap inside the home.
I mean, I can tell you, I can at least. I don't. Okay,
I can smell
scared.
you.
Scared me does not want
What
to
is
sleep
that
in the
from?
house.
I don't know.
Oh. Scared you.
Scared me does not want to sleep in the house.
It's a guy doing an impression of Morgan Freeman, and I have no idea what it's from, but he says, I can smell you.
But I also know that somebody's gonna need to drive home.
Chris isn't all right.
Sorry.
Somebody.
Maybe
We aren't at the haunted house, Chris. We are recording a podcast at John's home.
I always felt weird at John's house when I lived here.
Well, it'll be like... okay.
Maybe we should call
No.
it before he has any more conniptions.
You know, one of the scariest things about my house.
I've been twitching for like 30 minutes.
One
I'm
of the
so
scariest
excited.
things about my house is that it loops.
Yeah.
So like you can watch that side all you want.
You can't rope-a-dope a ghost.
But no, strategically, somebody needs to drive home.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm gonna have to sleep no matter what.
If we just
Because
get
I'm
like
not gonna be able to go there. Because we're gonna go over there at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
If we just get like a trailer with 4 wheels in the back and a bike, I could drive the bike. Yeah.
Just on the highway.
Yeah. I can drag you guys home.
You're on the bike on the trailer. Like you just you have both feet on the trailer.
Oh yeah.
You just wave at me. Oh, that would be great.
You guys are doing great.
I want to go home now.
Okay. All right.
Do you want to share your corner, John?
Yeah, actually, so send us home, Chris.
Goodbye, everybody.